what running actually does to your brain. Now, running didn't just change my body, it literally changed my brain. Most people start running for the wrong reasons. They think that fixing their heart or they're trying to lose weight. But something strange happens before any of that. Your brain starts to change first. And if you've ever tried Zone 2, running slow, running math training, 180 minus your age, jogging along, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because the hardest part of running slow isn't your legs. It's literally your ego. You're running slower than everybody. Your watch says 9 kilometers per pace. People are passing you, walkers are passing you, and your brain is screaming like, this can't be possible. This can't possibly be working. But here's the thing that most runners don't realize. Running slow may actually be one of the best ways to rebuild your brain. And later in this video, I'm going to explain something that almost nobody talks about. A hidden system inside your brain that running actually helps clean out. But first, we need to understand something scientists discovered about the brain that literally shocked them. For decades, scientists believed something called the fixed brain theory. Now, the idea was really simple. You were born with a certain number of brain cells, and if those neurons died, that was it. No replacements. Your brain slowly declined as you aged. But in the late 1990s, researchers discovered something really incredible. The adult human brain can actually grow new neurons. And this process is called neurogenesis. And one of the strongest triggers they found was aerobic exercise like running. Now this I call the miracle grow chemical. When you run aerobically, your brain releases something called BDNF. And BDNF stands for brain-derived neurotropic factor. And no, it's not a cereal. Most scientists describe it as in real simple terms. It's basically fertilizer for your brain. And BDNF helps the neurons grow, connect, survive longer, and a large amount of this growth happens in a region of the brain called the hippocampus. It's kind of like right dead in the center of this thing. And this area controls memory, learning, and emotional balance, which explains something runners often notice after a few months of consistent running. They feel mentally clearer. I know I have. They feel more focused. I have as well. Less anxious. Hell yeah. Almost like someone has turned the lights back on in their brain and their life starts to light up in really great ways. Look, I remember when I first started running slow, it literally felt ridiculous, right? My pace had dropped like really low. My ego, man, I hated it. It sucked. And honestly, I kept thinking, how is running slow possibly going to make me a better runner? But a few months later, something unexpected happened. I started doing math tests and my pace improved. My breathing got a lot easier, but more interestingly than that, my thinking got really clear. And that's when I started digging into the science of this whole running slow. Why slow running helps the brain. Most people assume the hardest workouts are the most beneficial. But for your brain, intensity isn't always better. Higher intensity causes a large spike in cortisol. That's the body's stress hormone. And small amounts are good. Okay, don't get me wrong, right? But chronic high cortisol actually does damage to the neurons in the hippocampus. Zone 2 running definitely works. Instead of constant stress spikes though, it produces steady blood flow to the brain, okay? And what that means is more oxygen, more glucose, more nutrients. And when you stay in that aerobic state long enough, BDNF levels increase significantly. Now here's something interesting about runners, about me. Most people don't start running when life is going perfectly. They start running when things start falling apart, right? Stress, weight gain, burnout, health scares. Does that ring a bell? Or they just feel like their brain is constantly racing. And then something strange happens when they start running consistently. After a few weeks, I felt the noise in my head start to quiet down. I slept better than I had in a long time. I can think really clear. I feel calmer. My anxiety is relaxed. And I really can't explain it, but science actually can. Your brain has something called the HPA axis. And it's basically your stress control center. So when life hits you with some, pretty big pressure, the system determines how strong your body is going to react. If it's out of balance, you stay stuck in a fight or flight mode. Constant stress, constant anxiety, constant mental fatigue, but consistent aerobic running helps regulate this system. And over time, it trains your brain to recover from stress faster. The same problems that used to overwhelm you start to feel more manageable. Running doesn't remove stress, but it teaches your brain how to handle it better, if you know what I mean. Remember earlier when I mentioned that hidden system inside your brain? Look, this part is kind of fascinating. Your brain has something called the glymphatic system. Like, think of it as a cleaning crew for your brain. That's if I said it correctly. I could be totally wrong. But every day your brain produces waste products, right? Proteins, toxins, cellular debris. I feel like it's something I got to clean out of my backyard. But movement and aerobic blood flow help flush the waste out. It's like this river, right? River is overflowed and it's blocked the trail and it's just moving along, getting rid of all the waste, right? It's the spring runoff. So movement and aerobic blood flow help flush out all of that waste, right? Helping your brain literally clean itself out, which may explain why so many runners describe the feeling after a run of, not just tired, but mentally lighter, like you just feel like you got a skip in your step. You feel pretty good, right? And this is when you hit the flow state. There's another experience runners talk about all the time, right? That movement when a run suddenly feels effortless. Your breathing settles down. Your mind, my glove's falling apart. Your mind quiets and you're just moving. Psychologists call it the flow state, right? During a flow state, the brain synchronizes several regions together, especially the prefrontal cortex, which controls focus, decision-making, emotional regulation, and constant aerobic running strengthens this area, which is why runners often feel something interesting. We are not just calmer during our runs, we are calmer during everyday life. Things that used to trigger us, right, don't hit as hard anymore. So when runners say something like, running saved my life, sounds pretty dramatic. They're not always talking about fitness though. Something that they're talking about is quite deep. It's really deep. And running didn't just strengthen their body. It has literally rebuilt their mental resilience. Now there's the Maffetone method consistency connection in all of this. And none of it happens just from one run. It happens from constant aerobic training. And that's where methods like the Maffetone method, training, running slow, really shine, right? They help you keep running at a pace that your body can repeat again and again without burning out, without constant stressing the nervous system. Just steady aerobic work. And over time, that consistency rebuilds something deeper than endurance. It rebuilds your nervous system. Nutrition also plays a very big role. Your brain is extremely sensitive to oxidative stress. Foods rich in antioxidants help protect those neurons. Things like berries, leafy greens, beets, nuts, and seeds right? I'm talking plant-based food. And these foods support the same brain systems that running activates. So you're not just training your brain, you're fueling its growth. One thing I've realized about running over time, over all of the years that I've been doing this, is it's not just exercise, right? It's maintenance for my brain. Just like brushing your teeth, right? You do it every day. Like, you just don't think about it. It's just like sleep. You have to do it, right? Just like food, you gotta eat. Movement is something the human body expects. And when we give it that movement, when we give it that consistently, it rewards us with better focus, better resilience, better clarity. Running doesn't just change your body, guys. Sometimes, just sometimes, it changes how you experience life. I'm curious about something. Have you noticed your mental clarity change since you started running consistently? Or are you still in that early phase of where everything feels slow and frustrating? Let me know in the comments below, because I think a lot of runners are experiencing this, even if you don't realize what's happening quite yet. We often run to change our bodies, but we stay because of how it makes us feel, how it changes our minds. You aren't just moving through the world, you're literally rewiring how you experience it. A clearer head, a much brighter mood, and a stronger you. You deserve it. It's the simplest transformation there is. One foot in front of the other can change your life. You are literally one run away from it. So get out and run.
Running through emotions.